Hello there, folks. Hey, Joe Ozu here. Hey, we're going to make a video today on how to take a bunch of tags and kind of an Excel spreadsheet here, and we're going to map this over to BacNet. We've got an application. Actually, we're going to go from BacNet to ModbusTCP. We've got a project here where they've got a bunch of tags in BacNet, building automation control network product, and they want to map those over as a ModbusTCP slave device so some other SCADA or something else can talk to us or get this BacNet data over a ModbusTCP session. So here I've got a spreadsheet open here, and I've got this from the customer. It's got an IP address column here. You can see port 502, that's ModbusTCP. Got some register offsets here, nothing big. And then they got the starting registers. So this whole column here, through this whole application, are Modbus holding registers. Everything is a length of 2, means it's 2 long words in here, and everything in here is mapped right here. They give their instance address here. That's the kind of the number in BacNet. And then they have the device instance here. So if I go across this tab, apparently it's some kind of hotel somewhere. Anyway, we can see here that their setup is 32-bit float. Let me look and see if this column changes at all. I don't think it does, but maybe I could be wrong. Let me look. Nah, everything here seems to be floats. If we slide back over here, if I can grab the slider and not my video thing. Get over here. We see a couple of things I wanted to pick out. This column here is the device ID. That kind of changes as it goes down. And we have IP addresses here. So if I go through this whole list, there are well over 10,000 tags in this application. But the important thing is that the Modbus holding register here keeps incrementing by 2 because it's set up as a, I think we're going to do word as long possibly for this application, and the device ID number here. So I got with another colleague, a fellow named Mike, who helped me out dramatically, and he was able to do some quick code in Excel to kind of put together this number into a format here that Red Lion can look at or see. So this column right here, if I slide, he made this column here that created this text throughout the whole database in here. And what I did on this Excel spreadsheet, I took it a little further, and I went through and I noticed that in reality there are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The thing is acting like 7. It looks like it has 7 different IP addresses, and each one has, boy, I don't really know, 2,000 plus tags going across of the 10,000, if you will. So let me go here. Is 53 the lowest number? I think it is. Okay, so here I am looking at the 53 device here, and register 1 starts here, goes all the way down. If I go to the next one, register 2923. So that means the first device has the first 2921 registers. Next one is 5841. You can see I highlighted here. Next one is 87. And the last guy, well, not last guy, this guy here takes 11,000. That's the register number, holding register. And that one there's 14. What do we got over here? Anyway, pretty good size. So, but I'm going to focus on the first one here, number 53 right here. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to, for this example, let me go open up Crimson, because we're going to use, the customer has chosen to use, I believe, the DA10 here, team. So I'm going to file, new, and I'm going to collapse what I picked before, DA10, data station. That's what the DA10 looks like right there. I'm going to go ahead and click the OK button. Notice all the stuff over here when I click OK. You'll see all that disappears, because the DA10 is the simplest bare-bone protocol converter product here, so it doesn't have data logging or display pages. Basically has communications and data tags and maybe some programming section. So anyway, first thing here is in Crimson, I'm going to go here to the network, and I'm going to set up this guy to be a manual IP address. And according to that spreadsheet, this one right here, we're going to set up the IP address here of 192.168.10.53. So I'm going to go ahead and put in right here I'll leave that alone. Somebody can put a gateway. I don't know what their gateway would be in this application, but put that in later. And I'll go to protocol 1 here. And on protocol 1, I'm going to hit the pick button. And I'm going to set this guy up to be a BacNet master right here, UDP IP master. I'm going to go ahead and click OK there. And I got that done. Now, if I click on the first device right here, here's the device ID right here. Now, I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet because it shows here the first device ID is number 26001. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to Crimson. I'm going to change this number to 26001. Boom. And then the other thing that Mike did I thought was really awesome in this table, let me get to the where he kind of created this device for 01, and then as we go down this column, you can see that it takes device 02. See, that's 002, so 2600. I guess let's just cheat real quick, and let's just move this over. Let's go all the way to the bottom. So notice 260102. What do we got all the way down below here? Not very good with math, but we end up, when it's all said and done, 2686 down here. So looks like, in a roundabout way, we're maybe talking to 86 devices. Maybe that could be the... Let me look and see if this number keeps oscillating. I think it does. Yep, I'm pretty sure it oscillates through... I'm looking at this number right here is what I'm looking at. So, yep. If I slide all the way up. Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, so I think that looks good. All right, so I'm going to go back to Crimson. I put that in there. Oh, but what I was talking about here is over here is this device number right here. He changes here. So I'm going to go back to Crimson. And over here, team, where it says device 1, I'm going to right-click and do rename. And I'm going to call this one 001 like that. Boom. Okay, that looks good. And then under protocol 2, I'm going to click on protocol 2 because we're going to want to be a ModbusTCP slave. So I'm going to hit the pick button here. Go down to the M Modbus right here. And we're going to set us up to be a slave. Click OK here. Now you can see I got this PLC1 here. That's the default name. Let me go back to my spreadsheet. Yep, he's following that nomenclature here. So I'm not going to really mess with anything on that. That looks good, PLC1. Okay, and I'm going to add a gateway block here. Now, the purpose of this exercise is to kind of make this gateway block concept be easier. So if I normally would go here to block, and I would pick holding registers, 40,001 right there. I'm going to do word as long, because I wonder if it should be for real. But anyway, I'll leave word as long, click OK. And I'll put in a block size here, just a few, so you can see. So if I was to manually do all this, I'd click here. And you can see the problem is that I can't select registers in this guy. So without this next procedure I'm going to show you, you'd have to go and create data tags and map them over. There's no way to expand this. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet, this guy right here, and I'm going to focus on this column right here. Kind of move this, and I'll make this a little wider. And I'm going to really look at, I want to just focus on device 2601 here. So I'm going to go slide down, and I'm just going to go for this one right to here. It's basically line 33, because the next one's the next guys and so forth. So I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to copy this column of text. Right-click, copy. And then I'm going to go over and I'm going to open up, say, Notepad+. That's what I'm going to use here. Notepad++. It's a free or less expensive app. Whatever. And let's go ahead and get rid of what we were playing with earlier yesterday. So I'm going to go paste it in here as such. Okay. Now, when you first go into Notepad++, if I get to the view, and we'll go here. This is what you'll normally see in here. Okay. And that's fine. That works okay. But we have a dilemma. When I go to what Crimson's looking for is it's looking for kind of a, if I was to click on the block and export this block here, let me just show you real quick. Let me just go create some tags. And if I was doing this a long way, I go here, and I go here, analog input, present value, I'll just leave that alone, whatever. I don't want to make that a pot. Well, okay, whatever. So go here, and I'll do the next one. We'll say analog input. Make this 2. I don't know how this works, but we'll do that. This guy here might be number 3. Okay, and we'll do this guy number 4. We'll just do 4 for this example. All right, so there's my 4 tags. If I go back to communications here, since I'm going to make those, I think, floating point, and I'm only doing 4, I'm going to click here on the pick. I'm going to choose word as real. I'll do that, click OK. And since we're only doing 4, I'm going to change the block size from 5 to 4. So here I've got my register. So I'm going to click here, go down here to data tags, and I'll double click on each one of these. Boom, 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 boom. Like so. And I want to show you, if I save this, not save it, but I want to export this, and I want to show you how it shows up. So so I'm going to click the export mappings here, because I want to show you what this looks like. So I'll click here. I'm going to put it in some directory here. It's a txt. Let's call this tags, we'll say _001, because we're only looking at the first guy. Text file. Click save. All right, so I've got it saved. So now if I go over here to my Notepad Plus I was talking about, which is what I kind of imported here. Hold on. Let me go right here. Here's our tags. I just want to open this up in... So this is here, team. This is the format of how I exported that from Crimson. And this is what it's looking for, or this is what it wants to see when I import in a tag GatewayBlock listing. Notice I've got something here, and then the next line is like the tag database in Crimson. Well, here's the problem. When I copy that stuff from Excel over to here, it put it all in one complete line. I need to add a line feed pretty much everywhere in here that there's a pipe symbol. This guy is the pipe symbol. So my dilemma was, how can I insert a carriage return and a line feed in here? So what I did is, I'm going to go here to search. I'm going to go to view, actually, go to the view pull down. And if I go down here to show symbol, I'm going to do show all characters. Now I can see there's a carriage return and a line feed here. Well, I want to swap out all of these pipe symbols in here with a carriage return line feed. So I'm going to use the search button, and I'm going to go down to replace. It's going to bring this up, and you can see I already did this, but the pipe character, let me see if I get my pointer to work today. This is the pipe character, right? It's just straight up and down on my keyboard. It's the shift character right next to enter on my aftermarket keyboard here. It might be somewhere else on your desktop. And I'm going to insert a /r/n, which is the nomenclature for a carriage return and line feed. And in Notepad Plus, I need to make sure that I search mode for extended to turn this on. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to replace everywhere in this document. I want you to see what happens. So if I click the replace all, watch what this does. Here we go. I'm going to put that in there. Replace all. Boom. Say yes. Go ahead and continue. Look. It took it and put that line feed in, which is like, makes it double as long. Yes, you're right. Double as long. However, I'm going to go File and Save As. I'm going to save this copy here. Okay. So I'm going to file save this, and I'm going to call this one DEV001, because this is the first. Just for giggles, device 01 here. Text file, whatever looks good. Hit Save button. All right, so I think I saved it. If I go look at my directory I currently got open, there it is right there. All right, now watch this. I'm going to go back to Crimson, and I've got this block here, but I'm going to do import mappings. So I'm going to import mapping. Block already exists. I'm going to say yes. Comes up here. I'm going to grab this device, this one here we just did. Notice before I do this, I had 4 in here. Let's see what it does. I'm going to click open. And did something. Who knows what it did? If I click here, look, it expanded. Look at this, team. That took all that was for device 1 right here. So basically what I'm saying to you is I took this first column that was all connected to device 1, which was 33 things, if you will. Well, is it right? 33? Well, actually 18, because there's 2 lines per thing. But 18, and it did all 1 there at that time. So to make this somewhat faster, because that's just one segment, the question would be is, well, how many could I do in one block? So if I click on the block here, the question is, how many things could I transfer across here in one block? Well, I can change the block size here. What is the max number? So if I put in some big number, Crimson will politely bark at me and tell me 1,024 is the max number. So if I go 1024, bam, now I get, this is going to sound crazy, but I've got 1,024 registers here. A little bit weird. I don't know if the real, kind of, one needs to check that because it does say over a 32-bit float, which I think is weird that one would use a 32-bit float for the binary numbers, but right here, like this guy, see right here, they got a binary input here, and they're mapping that. Oh, well, they're all consistently the same. Who cares? But just something to point out that they're taking a binary input. Anyway, so I've got that. Now, I want to go to the next step, and I want to do 1,024 in here now. So what do I got to do here? So if I go to the appropriate spreadsheet, of course I have both of them open. Let me close this one. This is the original. Don't save it. All right, so now this time I really have 1,024, so I'm going to take this and basically go from here down to 1,024. So let's go all the way down here. Oops, I went too far. Maybe I went too far. I don't know. 1,024 was my magic number, I thought. So, oops, 1,024. And it's right here. Oh, I made a line. I made it blue in here. So that kind of told me that that was correct. All right, so there I got all my numbers. Okay, so I'm going to copy this whole column. I'm going to copy the whole column. And I'm going to go over to Notepad Plus here, and I'm going to say File New. I'm just going to do File New, paste. There it is. I'm going to do my find, search, replace. I'm going to replace all the pipes with the /R through the whole thing. Bam. It's going to make this whole file double long, but who cares? It should have, there it went. It finally got done. That's a huge, so there we got my, so I'm going to go File, Save As this time. And I'm going to call this one, let's call this one, it's really it's first gateway block. So I'm going to just call it block 1. Let's do this block 1. Because it's 1,024. Okay, so now I got block 1. I'm going to go back to Crimson. And I'm going to click on the block here. And I'm going to import those new mappings. So I'm going to click Import. Say yes. Go ahead and disregard. I'm going to click on this block 1. Now before I do this, I think you can see down here there's no errors. Watch what happens when I import this. I'm going to hit Import. I get a ton of errors. You're like, what? Well, look. If I go over here, you can see the first device was configured, but the next device, device 2, device 3, all the way down, is errors. There's no device. So what I have to do is I got to go over here to the left side, click on Protocol 1, and I'm going to add additional device. Now, I'm going to tell you something, that if I go back to the block, and I'm just going to slide all the way down. I just want to look at something here. The first 1024 numbers in here goes all the way down to 61, at least here, 61 registers right here. And that's a ton. But anyway, that's, 1,024 things. So what I'm going to do up here, I'm going to click on this guy. And for this example, I'm going to do the first 10. So I'm going to go, so I got device 1 here. But I'm going to click on here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do 9 because including this one, that's number 10. Okay, so this is device 1. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change every one of these. I'm going to click on it, change it to 002. Boom. Go down here. Click on the next one. It's going to be 003. Boom. Go to the next guy. 004. Boom. This guy is number 5. Apparently I put in the wrong character. That's 005. Enter. The next one is 006. Enter. Next guy, 7. This one here is number 8. Ocho in Spanish, I think. About as much as I know for Spanish. This one here is number 9. 9. I think in German is 9. 0009. Do I have an extra 0? Maybe so. And this is number 10. Number 10. So that's 010, kind of a binary number 2, but number 10. Okay, so we've got that done. Now, the only difference between each one of these, as I go across the list, is the device ID number. And if I go back to the spreadsheet real quick here, so here I'm looking at device right here, 01, 2601. If I slide down a little bit, device 2 is going to 2602, see right here. And of course, if I go to device 3, it's going to 2603, and so forth. So in Crimson, what I have to do now is I got to change this number. So what I did is I'm going to click here, and I'm going to copy this, and then I'll click on this next one right here, and I'll go over here and I'll highlight, delete, insert, hit the right arrow, change this last number to a 2, enter, go to the next guy, delete this, boom, Control V as in Victor, paste, use the right arrow to get in there, and this is number 3, boom, go to the next one right here is number 4, highlight, delete, Control V, change this to a number 4, enter. Next guy is number 5, boom. So, and next one is number 6. And next guy is number 7, boom. Next one is number 8, Control V. And we have number 9. We'll go back to number 9 here. And number 10 is there. Now, I always double check things. I click on the first one here, up here, highlight over here, and then I like to watch this number, and I'm just going to use my down arrow on my keyboard. So that's number 1, that's number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Perfect. Everything looks good. Now, look at this. Here's the magic, though. If I go over here to this gateway block, look. Before, we were only getting to number 33. Well, now it's talking to device 2. It's got all those. If I keep going down, it's got number 4. I'm looking right here at this. It's got number 5, 6, 7. Look at this. Okay, now all of a sudden, now I got to roll all the errors because I don't have device 10 through 61 set up here. So I got a bunch to do, so forth. So I spent a couple hours yesterday building this first database, so I'm going to pause this real quick here. Actually, I don't need to pause it. I have it here in my directory. So I've got this program opened. I haven't saved it yet, but if I go over here, I'm going to go ahead and open this file I created yesterday, and this one I went through and did a bunch of devices. Now look, we just went through in the same database, and we added these first 10. Right here, these first 10, we just did that as a team right here. Well, I went through yesterday, did the exact same procedure, and I added, I think we have, this is what's really crazy, 86 different devices in here, and this one block that we were just working on previously is completely set up here, all green, all good, and I'm going to collapse that way up on top maybe. This is huge. Oops, I need to do that. So I'm going to collapse that tree and look at block 2. And block 2 brings in the other amounts of tags. And look, it's going to 79. All the way down to 86. So this database right here is completely done for everything that's on this IP address right here, number 53. Because we can, on the DA10, be an IP address, one IP address. So that there is the configuration for the one unit that's covering everything that's happening on IP address 192.168.10.53. Now I got to do the same thing with 54. And, I wonder, now that I got one done, let me look at something. 54. Yeah, I got to basically do the same thing on 54 because the device number here doesn't start at 1, it starts at 87, goes on up from there, or 86. So yeah, I'm stuck. I got to do all the same thing. But hey, it's better than taking 10,000 steps in. I'm doing maybe 50 steps instead of 10,000. But anyway, just thought I'd share that video with you. Hey, thanks a lot. Have a great day, folks. See you later.